Hi there, my name is Allison Schneider with ACEC, and this is the Engineering Influence Podcast. I am joined today by Tracy Shirtcliffe, CEO and founder of SCOPEbetter, one of our ACEC affiliate members. Tracy, thanks for joining us.
Delighted to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Why don't we jump right into it and tell us a little bit about what SCOPEbetter does?
Oh, I always love talking about this. So we are a platform that helps businesses, professional services businesses, to price for the work that they do.
That's certainly a hot topic of conversation with our members.
Indeed, indeed. So we're a SaaS platform and we integrate with different ERPs and we help engineering businesses to make pricing their superpower. Typically, most professional services businesses and engineering businesses are not alone, is that they normally have a number of challenges around what we call the pricing problem. So the ability for you to consistently price over and over again, depending on how complex your teams are, and also in dealing with the complexity of pricing in engineering businesses is real. Currently, we see a lot of the engineering firms using Excel spreadsheets and Word documents, so a lot of manual ways to price, lots of different ways to price. And one of the things we always talk about is that spreadsheets are fantastic, but they spread data. So as a platform, we help businesses to remove all their blind spots and have a single source of truth around pricing for their business. And of course, pricing drives profit, as we know.
Talk about the challenges that your company is trying to address within the pricing of engineering contracts.
Well, what we're really trying to do is to give a central repository that helps engineering businesses to analyze and optimize their pricing. And we do that as a platform by giving you visibility and control. So there's nothing like lots of different ways to price, lots of manual Excel spreadsheets and Word documents and other kind of various different ways of working. And that's fundamentally the platform and what we do with SCOPEbetter to help you to solve the problem.
Can you talk a little bit about how you integrate with what a company's already doing?
Absolutely. So part of our process, what we typically do is we find out where a business is on their journey. We see if they actually have what we define as the pricing problem. So how are they doing it today? And then what we typically ask a business to do is to show us that process. We take that away. We call it a kind of a reverse demo, seeing what you're doing today. And then we take that information and we present some of that back to you in our platform. And that's pretty much our kind of sales process. So the proof of the pudding is in the eating for us, understanding how businesses are doing it at the moment, what their source of truth is, and also what they might be integrating or using as other tools within their framework.
What are some of the successes that you've seen?
That's a great question. So everybody starts from a different place, but typically what we're seeing is that we will see lots of Excel spreadsheets, different rate cards for different clients, for different teams. People are typically saving those in individual sheets. They might have a template that they constantly reuse. And you can't actually do what we call, which is kind of set baselines or kind of standardize or centralize various different ways of doing things. And the joys of a spreadsheet, which is typically what we see a lot, is that there's no kind of controls, which is okay, except when you really want to kind of be able to drill into where are the profits coming out from, where is the margin, and kind of being able to see a central source of one single place. The other key thing that we really see is that typically you'll be pricing up in Excel or manually in different tools, and then you'll need to be producing kind of that statement of work, kind of that Word type document with the right terms and conditions, the right assumptions or key objectives or whatever it is that could be your format for your methodology of putting together your scope of work. And typically that process is kind of a manual. So with a push of a button from within SCOPEbetter, you can push the pricing elements and the statement of work elements together with the right terms and conditions and send that directly out to the client. We even connect to things like DocuSign or a PDF if that's how you need your proposals to go out.
You know, one thing we've seen through the research at the ACEC Research Institute is that engineering firms have a backlog of projects and they're being more selective in the projects that they take on and really drilling down to see which projects are profitable and where their bread and butter is. I think it sounds like this could help them standardize that across the board and get a better idea of the costs going in and how much they're making at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And then what we want to do is help them to be able to get some baselines. The other thing that we see or we know is that even from the basic kind of statistics around winning business, you're 58% more likely to win a piece of business if you're the first proposal received by a client. So getting things out quickly and accurately is also really important.
That's an interesting statistic. We talked about the standardization a bit, but each project is so different that I imagine if you can get the pieces in place as a baseline, it allows you to have that flexibility to modify it for the individual projects coming in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We look at that as being kind of the building blocks for getting things up with speed, centralizing, standardizing, and ultimately streamlining it. I mean, at the end of the day, if you've got lots of different ways of doing things, you're effectively got scattered data. So what we're trying to do is help you to get that central place where you can have visibility, you can start to analyze and optimize those things that are most successful for you and price for profit. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, making sure your pricing is becoming your superpower as a business.
We have databases for so much of the data that we're taking in. It makes sense to have this in one place and have that data start working for our firms. Can you talk a bit about why it's important for you to be an affiliate member of ACEC and the value that you get from that?
It's a great question. I mean, the importance of us is making sure that we are close to our clients and potential clients, understanding the challenges that they are experiencing, not only from our perspective in solving the pricing problem, but other challenges they might have in their businesses, being close to other vendors. We work a lot with Deltec, who I know are one of your kind of principal core partners, understanding how other systems and tools are working and making sure that we have a unique point of view and a unique value to the engineering businesses. So absolutely, you give us a holistic view right across the industry, not only what the members themselves are doing, but also partners and other vendors.
Sure. I think all of that information just helps people have a better pulse of what's happening in the industry and how we can work on solving some of these problems together.
Exactly.
Well, Tracy, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Delighted to join. Thank you.
This has been an episode of the Engineering Influence podcast from the American Council of Engineering Companies. We'll see you next time.